What in the hell? What is that? Jesus. This took a lot of time to make, and it takes a lot of time to keep it this way too. But if there's anyone who has the time and dedication to keep this place funky and weird, it's the people of Slab City. Well, this really isn't a city. It's a place, a destination, sometimes final, or just somewhere to stop for a while. But for just about everyone here, it's a refuge from society. And since this is California, I'm guessing that's the immediate refuge reason. Every now and then I come to a place that overwhelms me visually. Every corner you turn here in Slab City, there's something fascinating, whether it's art, destruction, or both. As an outsider here, it's hard to tell what's on purpose. And there's a lot of this out here in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere, California. This was the first day on my California homecoming tour. Right now I'm here, way out in Imperial County, near the banks of the Salton Sea. On this trip, I would explore California's deserts, coastlines, and of course, its major cities. The goal is to show sides of the state that you probably haven't seen before. And I'm pretty sure most of you haven't seen this before. Slab City is really just a place in the dirt that somebody decided was a good spot to make home. This used to be a Marine base. But after World War II was over, our military didn't need a base out here, so the place closed entirely in 1959. All that was left were these concrete blocks everywhere. They called them slabs. Retired military started moving here one day as a place to just camp, really. Eventually, it became known all over the West as Slab City, a free place to hang out with no rules. And it just kind of grew from there. Although I'm guessing most of the people here now aren't former military now. Most of the people are out here because they want to live off the grid. A lot of these folks are retired or have some stream of income, but it doesn't take much to live here. Some of the people here are traditional hippies, but there's PhDs, musicians, artists, weirdos, druggies, criminals, lowlifes. There's wannabe politicians, the abused, the abusers. Among this population are anarchists, alternate reality types, and many eccentrics. Some are outcasts, some are addicts. A lot of them are living on the street somewhere. Many are older aged. I don't think they actually know who might show up here or how long they'll stay. It just kind of happens. But all of them are here because they don't want to be around you and me. On the day I was here, there might have been 200 folks living here, but nobody actually knows how many people are here at any given day. That's because this isn't a city, or a sanctioned one. I mean, there aren't any official records. But to these people, it's a city. It's weird everywhere here near the Salton Sea in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. There's not a lot out here except for a smelly lake, a few small towns, a bunch of dirt and rocks, and some farmland. Slab City is basically a bunch of structures, a bunch of tents and RVs kind of spread out over about 700 acres. It's always evolving here. It's just a series of little camps with their own little rules and culture. And while they don't keep official records, I'll bet they have a pretty good idea on who's here today. It's kind of hard to blend in when you first show up. In town, there's a mechanic, a church, a dance club, and a music studio. They have an internet cafe, a hostel, and a skate park. Some people here have created Airbnbs out here where you can stay for the night or for the week or for however long you want. There's a library here with tons of books. Look at this place. It's a real working library with a real librarian and everything. They even have a Facebook page. This library has no rules. There's no due dates or library cards. It's all based on the honor system. A lot of these books were donated by somebody at some point. There's entire restaurants and bars here, all of them made out of plywood and pallets and tarps and whatever else they could engineer. And all of it's built off the grid using generators and sweat. There's no power here. There's no running water. There's no trash collection. And the roads clearly aren't paved. Here's the Slab City nightclub. This is where they get together and dance and party. Sometimes they even hold prom here, since a lot of the people here have never got to go to a prom before. Hey!
Hello, how you doing?
I just like your sign. So I was driving around and I saw a sign that said closed. And I was like, why are you closed? When are you open? Are there any official operating hours? Well, anyway, this place is called the Wrangler's Roost. And look at this place. It has a full kitchen, a seating area, a dining hall, and like a dance club. This place is crazy. I talked to the guy who built the place. He's interesting, as is everyone else you meet here.
Right track.
So there's a lot of people in here that are not on the right track.
Correct. Yeah, as everywhere in this world, unfortunately. It seems like the devil is definitely winning, just like Jesus and God said it would. So, I don't like to get too much Jesus going on, but you know what? I think we all are going to need a lot more of it real soon.
Yeah. So are you gonna stay out here the rest of your life?
No, if somebody wants to buy our place so that we can go travel and see the world again. I was truck driving before I became
well, a lot of people are going to see this. What are you selling it for? What would you sell it for?
Well, I have alone I have $15,000 worth of solar. I have 24 batteries. I have 3,670 watts or 80 watts, something like that anyway, of solar. As you can see, if you walk over that, somebody said it reminds me of monoliths because they rotate with the sun. I made them so they're teeter-totter type.
So 15 grand, they could buy your whole operation?
That's just for the solar.
So what would it cost to buy your whole operation?
I would have to say, because I have several buildings in here and stuff all fixed up, a deck with a spa and the whole thing.
I finally got Ken to give me a price for his restaurant. He said $40K. So there you go, people. If that's not a business opportunity, I tell ya. Hi. Hi. I drove around a lot. Actually, I drove around all day, and I came across a place in the back called the California Ponderosa. It too is a wonder that you have to see to believe. This place has a bar and a full kitchen and a stage where there's regular music performances. My God, my God. Again, all of this was created and is run off the grid. The Ponderosa has a Google Maps presence, just about a 5-star review. I can see why. There's a bunch of these ragtag establishments here that sling beer out of the can for $2 or sell burgers or whatever else happens to be on the menu. I talked to the people who run the Ponderosa. They told me that a lot of the social media looky-loos that come out here to gawk never make it to the back of the camp. They usually just drive by and take pictures and film from afar and then take off. Quick drive-through social media people. Not me. I'm not a drive-through social media person. I like to get in there and talk to the people. And it's Cali, bro. So they're totally going to have art everywhere. Remember this place? This is Salvation Mountain, which took some guy 30 years to make. He just got some free paint and slept here without any electricity for 30 years. It's covered in Bible verses, which means he's religious. Or maybe not. You never know out here. This is actually the second installation the guy built. The first one collapsed 5 years after it was finished, so he just rebuilt it. That's some dedication, people. He's dead now. And then there's this. This is East Jesus. It's an art installation, unlike any other art installation I've ever visited. This place was started by a former tech exec in 2007. He just left the Bay Area, quit his job, had all his stuff shipped here, and moved into a trailer that was unoccupied. He died 10 years ago, but other people kept adding to it. It's kind of a sculpture garden made by 1,000 artists. Like a live, always evolving salvage punk yard or something. There's just so much going on here. Every little area here has its own story, and you can feel the energy wherever you go. Sometimes it's negative, but a lot of times it's just there. Like everything here feels alive. I think the energy here is what the people feed on the most. I can do an entire documentary on this place. Who knows? Maybe one day I just might.
Did you know technically this place is in the city of Nyland, California?
I know. I saw Nyland addresses all over the place, Mappy. That's a small city with about 1,000 people just down the road. It's where all these people go and get their food and their supplies. I hear it's very overpriced.
I doubt Nyland has anything nice. Why shop there at all?
Well, not everybody needs fancy, woman. Some people just need a campfire and some pot. I know. I don't think this is the kind of place for a snobby map mom. Slab City's been called a squatter's paradise, or the last free place to live in America. Most of the people here don't want to be found, and way out here in the desert is that nowhere they want. I'll tell you what though, it is hot out here. It averages in the hundreds of degrees out here for a third of the year. That's why there's hardly anyone here right now. I was here in late September and it's just about 90 degrees every day this time of year. The day I was here it was 99 degrees. However, when the weather is much cooler, thousands of people come here temporarily. Some are well-to-do people who want to experience this. Some are homeless vagabonds who just need a place to stay. Apparently, when you move here, you have to kind of negotiate with your new maybe neighbors. There's no official rules on where you can live, of course. But when you pull into camp, if there's a spot you like, you have to bargain with the campers who are already there. Some will charge you a monthly fee to live near them. I hear good advice is to tread lightly when you first show up. Maybe you won't like your neighbors. Maybe they won't like you. And if that's the case, you just move your shit to another camp. Or don't camp inside the camps at all. I met a bunch of people who live on the outskirts of Slab City. Way out here, there's just trailers and tents that aren't really in the city limits. They're just kind of like on the way in. I heard some of these people had personality disputes with those inside, or maybe they just don't want to deal with all the drama in there. So they just squat outside the city's official gates like vagabonds. I talked to people who live in this RV. There's 2 brothers that live in there. Nobody was occupying this RV when they got here, so they just moved in. They came here because they had no place to live, and they heard this place was free. They collect disability. They get about $250 a month each. They told me they pretty much watch TV or play video games on their phones all day that they charge on a small solar charger. They don't have any heat or air conditioning. One of the brothers told me they're going to have to put plywood up soon. It's 100 degrees today, but the nights are going to be in the 50s soon, and it'll be in the 30s at night when winter comes. And all over the place you see occupied scrawled on RVs. That means somebody lives there, so you can't move in, even if the people who live there are gone for a long time. This place is a well-known hippie haven all over North America. I'm going to bet if you came here, you'd be a little intimidated, a little fascinated, and probably very skeptical about your ability to live like this. It's not just a hippie trap, it's a tourist trap too. There's actually a flight that leaves somewhere in Asia, and it's filled with people who fly out here just to see this place. No shit. They come in a big plane at a nearby airport, and they catch a bus out here, and they all take pictures and ooh and ah and point at all these drifters like they're in a zoo. In case you're wondering, this place is somewhat dangerous. It's definitely unpredictable, though. There's thieves around every corner, so stuff gets stolen all the time. There were a few times when I'd get out of the car to record something, and somebody would say, "Hey, turn off your car and lock your doors, because there's thieves all over the place here." I was like, "Okay, thank you." But it's not regularly violent here or anything. From what I hear, most people are chill, and they just want to be left alone, or at least they just want to get along with everybody. But these are human beings. There's arguments over everything you can think of. Booze, pills, women, loose dogs, camping disputes, stolen generators, stolen cars. People pull guns on each other and steal from one another all the time. They usually don't shoot, but they do sometimes. There's fistfights and stabbings from time to time. It could be a nice campfire, and then all of a sudden the place is full of chaos with people shooting and running around and yelling and all. So yeah, there could be a lot of tension here. Can't blame people though. They don't have much. When somebody steals your shit, you gotta stand up for yourself. It's kind of survival mode out here, especially for the addicts. My friend lived here for a while, and he told me that he thinks 3 out of 4 people here are good people, 15% are hiding from something, and 10% are there because of drugs. And he said the drugs percentage is going up. Apparently, over the last few years, crime's been getting worse and worse here. This place already doesn't have a good reputation in the region. There's no official law enforcement here. It's all sort of self-monitored. They throw people out who cause problems. Although, from what I hear, the troublemakers are harder to run out of town anymore. They just dig in deeper. And when they can't settle a dispute themselves, they call the Imperial County Sheriff Department, who will settle the dispute. I also hear the county sends ambulances out here regularly to tend to overdoses or to people who have heat stroke. Apparently the nearest hospital is a half-hour away in Brawley. I hear the care there is so bad that when these slabbers wind up at the Brawley hospital, they call back to the camp and say, "Please come get me. I would rather die in the slabs than in this terrible Brawley hospital." That sucks. Sometimes the border patrol will come in when there's a real emergency. I mean, we're only 45 minutes from Mexico. But usually when you see the border patrol, it's because they're looking for sex trafficking victims or illegal border crossers. Can you imagine the look on their eyes when they stumble into this place after days of wandering the desert? "Yeah, welcome to California. You made it." They're like, "This is exactly what I heard California was." No, illegal border crosser. It actually gets much worse. Just wait till you get to Los Angeles. The nearest police station's 4 miles away in Nyland, which Mappy brought up. There's 1,000 people in Nyland. This is where the slabbers get all their stuff. Overpriced cigarettes, expensive beer, overpriced gas, milk, bread, knives. However, when COVID hit, Nyland was shut down. So the folks up the road really had to learn how to truly be off the grid. Nyland's really just a cheap place where the area farm workers live. This is also where the slabber kids go to school when their parents make them. How bad can it be here? I mean, groceries are nearby, and rent is basically free. There's no bills here. Well, there's some bills. One of the guys I talked to at the Ponderosa said he spends about $500 a month in whatever rent he has to pay, and for gas and food and weed. A lot of the people here collect Social Security checks or some other disability check. In California, if you're officially homeless, you're entitled to at least $200 a month minimum. Other people here make art and sell it to tourists who come through. A lot of people here just trade with one another. I guess if you run out of money, just leave. Or you ask for help so you can stay. A lot of people here just hang out and drink and smoke weed and make art and stare at their phones all day. Pretty much what you would do if you were on vacation. But this is their life now. Maybe they have it figured out. Maybe we're dumb. I don't know. I like my AC and my toilets flushing and my warm showers. But if it wasn't for that, I guess it's not so bad here. I think even if there wasn't a cost of living problem and if a lot of California wasn't ghetto, a lot of these people would be here anyways. At least until their first summers. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ask somebody how long they've been here, a lot of people use summers for reference. Like, this is my 3rd summer. Or I've been here 12 summers now. The first day of my California homecoming tour proved to be a damn dandy one. Very interesting day indeed. Like anywhere else in the US, good people get hurt in Slab City. There's a lot of people with big hearts who come here to help and live and experience this, but wind up getting abused. It's a great place. I hear it just needs better people to stay longer. But it's not as lawless or reckless as I'd heard. They actually look after one another in a way that I've not seen in California before. To me, this place is a lot better than most of California, where everybody's only concerned about themselves. It's not clear who officially owns this land. I hear the state owns most of it, though some people here say a mysterious family trust has ownership of this desert property. I hear the state's had discussions about cleaning this whole place up, but I don't know if they want the headache. And I don't think these people would go quietly. It might even get ugly. Slab City is kind of like every other place in California these days. Places where the law isn't enforced, where people live in poverty and do whatever it is they want. They call this the last free place. And if you know anything about California, there ain't nothing much left that's free here. And there isn't a lot left that isn't infected with its politics either. Brian, you grew up out here.
Yes, sir.
What brought you out here?
My dad, parents, my grandma.
So how long have you been out here?
54 years.
What is it like to live here?
I watched it change.
How's it changed?
Till it was really nice, until can't trust anybody anymore. You know, I've been through a lot out here. Growing up, I went to Nyland Elementary School, Calapat High School, and I earned my living out here. You know, growing up out here, I had to fight every day, you know, because of prejudice. But out here, I love everybody. You know, I'm not prejudiced. I don't care what color you are. I care what's inside your heart. That's what makes me. Everybody asks me, how do I keep it real out here? How do I do it? Well, I do it all to Him. Through the man upstairs, give it to God. If you don't give it to God, your problems are going to be all over. I just seen a lot of my friends die out here, you know, and a lot of them haven't gave it to God and asked for protection or guidance, you know. But He's with me every day out here. That's why I stay here. Plus, I get to see new people like you. You're here. Welcome home.
Yeah, man. So why are most people out here? To get away from...
To get away from society. They call it Babylon. I call it, well, if you do need a job, you know, it's a place I got to go to work, but, you know, I'm not scared to go to Babylon, you know. I get along wherever I go. I'm always welcome wherever I go. No matter if it's Slabs, Bombay Beach, Indio, Palm Springs, I don't care, all the way to Kansas. I'm always welcome. Because I carry myself, have respect for others, as you want respect for yourself. And my key word of life out here is respect. If you don't have respect, then head on down the road. You know, we don't want problems or trouble here. It's a good place.
So do they run people out of town that are not good people?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm come one of the locals out here. You know, when I grew up here, they called me an elder, and I have a few other elders that I made elders to help give me the right decision. What should we do? Not just what I do. What should we do, the people? We get them out of here, but they just keep coming back. You know, they don't care. They don't care about none of that shit. But I do. But I like to keep the peace wherever I go. You know, no matter what. And that's why I'm over here. I get ready to do some work.
Would you say that a lot of the people that come here never leave, or do people come and go a lot?
Some people come here just to die. The elderly people, you know. I let them have their wish. I watch a lot of people die here. You know, a lot of them are my best friends. Well, excuse me. When you are here, you're my family. You know, that's why I consider it, you know, family. But don't really want to see anybody pass away or anything. I like to keep going, keep moving on, you know, be happy. Try to be. If nobody's happy, make them happy. Tell them something. Hey, you've been told today. Told what? Fuck you. Have a good day. They look at you like, what the fuck? Oh, right on. So start your day off good now, you know. People just trip out on me. You have a sense of humor about life out here, you know. Living out here too long. I need my vacation. Soon, very soon.
Okay. Why are there so many people here?
I think that you would have to ask the people, really, each person why they're here. For me, I like the freedom We're not lawless, we're free. But yeah, I like the freedom. It's nice. We don't pay taxes, we don't pay rent, none of those things. And I like the community. I like my friends here.
How long have you been here?
Almost a year.
Do you have plans on staying for indefinitely?
I do. I'm building a camp right now.
What does building a camp involve?
Well, I've bordered off a specific area, and now I've planted some posts, and I'm going to start building a fence.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've actually planted posts out of railroad tracks, and the fence will be out of pallets. But it'll look nice when it's done.
Tell me what it's like to live here. You've been here a year now. What is it like to live here? I know you could talk an hour and there's no easy answer for that, but what's your experience been like?
It's been pretty decent. A lot of people will go online and say, I went to Slab City and it's dangerous and lawless. None of those things are true. I'm a single woman. When I got here, it was just me and my little dog in my van. And when it got warm, we would sleep with all the doors open, and no one ever bothered me. I never felt unsafe. It was fine. What it's like here is it's different for everybody. It depends on who you are. If you're a chill person, you'll have a chill experience. If you're trouble, you'll find trouble. If you know what I mean, if you are fun, you'll find it to be fun. You'll find what you bring.
Do you think you're gonna? I think I asked that, but like, is there a possibility you just won't leave?
Yeah, I probably won't. I mean, once I'm established, I might sometimes leave for a while in the summer and maybe have someone watch my camp for me while I'm gone, because it's pretty brutal in the summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand that. What's the most challenging part about living here?
The summer. Yeah, because for about 2.5 months-ish, you hover between around 115 to 120 degrees. And it's a lot more humid than people think it's going to be. Many days it would be 70 to 80% humidity, and it just wouldn't rain. I think we had maybe 3 or 4 people pass away who were normally healthy from the heat, because you have to be extra careful. You have to moderate your body temperature and make sure that you get into maybe a cool body of water or something along those lines. Go to a cooling center.
Mm-hmm. Is this like a place for people to go that want to be away from us? Like, all the bullshit around the country? I mean, is this a place that people can come and just get away from it all?
Pretty much. Absolutely. Yeah, you can. I mean, you can still be involved in it while you're here too. It's up to you what you choose to involve yourself in, whether it be remotely or not. Because of course there's social media. Everybody's got social media. And even here we have a lot of Facebook groups that involve Slab City. But for the most part, I think a lot of us remain neutral. Or if we're not neutral, we just don't look at the news or let ourselves get involved, because it's very toxic. It's very low vibe, and we're here to lead a happy life.
Mm-hmm. Are there more and more people coming out here because of cost of living and all the BS going on in the rest of the country? Have you noticed more and more?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we suspect we'll probably have around 3,000 people this winter. And that's quite a few people in 1 square mile. I mean, for a place out in the middle of the desert that's an off-grid community, that's quite a few people.
Mm-hmm.
In the summertime, we generally have 250 to 300, sometimes less, but it's grown. And I mean, I'm part of that. I made it grow this summer.
Mm-hmm. What you had heard about this place, came out here, checked it out, and thought, this is for me?
I have been a traveler since around 2013. So kind of, yeah, I found it by accident. I had gone to a rainbow gathering, and our friends said, hey, let's go to the slabs. And we were like, what's that? So we came out here, and I've been visiting it ever since. Mm-hmm. And then the last time I came here, I just never left.
So what brought you here? Are you trying to escape from the shit that's going on in the world? Is that why you're here?
Sorta. Back then, I was mainly just wanting to get away from the big city, and I wasn't really fed up with it. There was a family operation going on, and I was having a relationship, and it wasn't working, the both of them together. So I chose the relationship, and then I also had back issues, double broken back, and that had gone out on me in the 80s, and then unfortunately it went out again on me a week before 9/11 happened. And 02 I had back fusion. Was in a wheelchair for several years, working that. Had my knee replaced by a great doctor out here, Dr. Lai, at Pioneer Hospital in Raleigh, and now I'm doing really good. I can walk around and help the people here. So in 2019, before COVID hit, it was really hot that year. We had a lot of people dying, and we decided to open up a cold drinks, ice cream floats, and banana splits, and burgers and hot dogs. And it just so happened that God blessed me with being able to do really good burgers and hot dogs and good service, and everybody loved it that first year, and then COVID came.
Yeah, but you didn't have to shut down for COVID out here, did you?
We did window service, and that's hence the
Okay,
window
to
that I had set up. So just to kind of, we didn't stop, but we just said, okay, let's just keep it bay. A lot of people didn't follow that rule. A lot of people didn't get their shots. We have our shots. I have all 4 of mine. Didn't really have any issues. I ended up, before getting the COVID shots, I ended up getting COVID. And I was staying away from everybody except for MRI machines. I had 4 MRIs during the week of November before Thanksgiving of 2020. And ended up catching it sometime during that time. It was either the Walmart shopping carts or that, because I forgot the alcohol a couple of times using Walmart shopping carts. So it was either one of those two that happened.
You built all this?
With help, because I've been pretty crippled, but a lot of it was my supervision for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you gonna stay out here the rest of your life?
No, if somebody wants to buy our place so that we can go travel and see the world again. I was truck driving before I became
Well, a lot of people are going to see this.
2000.
What are you selling it for? What would you sell it for?
Well, I have alone, I have $15,000 worth of solar. I have 24 batteries. I have 3,670 watts, or 80 watts, something like that anyway, of solar. As you can see, if you walk over that,
yeah.
Somebody said it reminds me of monoliths because they rotate with the sun. I made them so they're teeter-totter type.
So 15 grand, could they buy your whole operation?
That's just for the solar.
So what would it cost to buy your whole operation?
I would have to say, because I have several buildings in here and stuff all fixed up, a deck with a spa and the whole thing, a kitchen, a full kitchen.
Can I see?
We're kind of decorating, so.
All right.
I'm gonna bring the gentleman in, guys.
Just for a couple minutes.
Let's not let the dog out.
All right.
There we go.
Oh,
And,
wow. What?
This is part of our dining area here.
Oh, my God.
And if you walk this way, you'll see the full kitchen.
Oh, my gosh. This looks like it's just a restaurant that you'd see anywhere.
Basically, yeah, I wanted an open kitchen so that they saw that I was,
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Are you looking to move and need advice? I do consulting. That's right. I'll sit down and talk about where the next perfect place for you and your family should be. I do it all the time. Together, let's find you a new home that's safe and checks all your boxes. You can get my email in the description to find out how I can help you find your perfect relocation. And I can also help you find your new house too. Email me and I'll work with you on not just helping you figure out where to move, but I can help you find your perfect home too. That's right. I know awesome, reliable agents all over the country, and I'd love to connect you to somebody who can help you search for that perfect home. Hey guys, if you learned something new about America or what it's like to live in America, great. You should think about subscribing and turning on your notifications. You can also click one of these videos or playlists for more. You can also now buy my songs on iTunes and other formats. Click the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and remember, While we all might have different views, we should all be nice to each other and try to make the U.S. a better place in a positive way.
This is Sage, Nick's manager. This has been a Corner House Entertainment production.